Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gulp and Nosh, episode 41. My name is Alex.
I am Demi.
And today we are drinking Meijer
Bubblegum soda.
Bubblegum soda. It's
Yeah,
not
we'll
focusing. It's not focusing.
Trying.
There we go. Bubblegum soda.
My question.
yes.
My question.
What's your
Why
question?
does it have a bottle cap if it's a can? It has a bottle cap on the picture.
I don't know.
Why?
It's made from ground up bottle caps. It's got a tinny taste to it. Meijer is sort of a local thing, so we might assume you all know what Meijer is, but you most likely don't. Very overwhelming possibility that you do not. But Meijer was founded in 1934 in Greenville, Michigan. Greenville is like 15 minutes from us, so really close. And then they started a second store in Cedar Springs and a third store in Ionia, which is where we are from. So we have the third ever Meijer in the world. Yeah, well, they rebuilt it twice now, but the location was the third ever.
So we have the fifth ever then.
No, because they rebuilt it well after there were a lot more. But yeah. Anyway, they are credited with pioneering the modern supercenter concept in 1962 by being the first among the stores to offer self-service shopping and shopping carts. So before that, you would go in and you'd talk to somebody and you'd be like, hey, I need some butter, some eggs, some pickles, I don't know, whatever else. And they would like go and get it for you and like package it all up and then say, here you go, mister. And then Meijer came along, and it sounds like there were a few other stores kind of trying that, but Meijer was the biggest one that come along in 1962 after being around for 30 years and be like, you know what? Yeah, here's some shopping carts. Here's a cart. This is a cart that we're going to call a shopping cart. And people were like, what? I don't know what that is. And Frederick Meijer was like, you push it. You push it down the aisles. We're calling these aisles. And they just invented that whole concept, I guess. So you could just go in and you could be like, excuse me, where's the butter at? And then they would tell you, and you'd have to get it that way. Anyway, it was founded in 34, I said, by Hendrik Meijer, and then the first employee he ever employed was his son, Frederick Meijer. Now it is co-chaired by Frederick's sons, Hank and Doug. And like I said, Meijer is really big here in Michigan.
Really?
About half of the company's 242, I want to say, 242 stores are in Michigan. The other half are in Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, and Wisconsin. So it's in a total of 6 states, but more than half of them are, or no, not more, about half of them are in Michigan. So, real big thing around here. Frederick Meijer's name is on just about everything. There's
a Frederick Meijer Gardens.
There's museums. There's a garden.
Statue garden
and like exhibition garden with like all sorts of different plants from around the world you can go and see, and music and venues and street names and plazas, and Frederick Meijer's name is on everything. He's a good guy, gives a lot back to the community, and is a direct competition to Walmart, which is not the best company in the world. So, but him and Sam Walton, who started Walmart, were apparently, good friends and came up with an agreement like, hey, we're not going to build next to each other ever. So we won't be in direct competition. And then Sam Walton died and his kids took over and they're like, why aren't we running this Meijer guy out of town? And they just started dropping Walmarts right next to Meijers, which is why we have a Walmart in Ionia now, because we never did before.
Because his children suck.
Yeah, they pretty much made it their goal to run Meijer out of business. But like I said, he's
Meijer's
deep.
better.
He's deep in the Michigan community, so people support Meijer around here.
Yep.
But yeah,
A lot.
otherwise they're pretty small time.
I think I've been into a Walmart maybe 3 times in the 11 years I've been alive.
Yeah, I get one of my prescriptions from there just because it's like $100 cheaper or something. But otherwise, I don't spend money at Walmart at all. But we're not going to get into political. That's not really political. I mean, evil
That's
corporation.
shopitical.
Shopitical. No shopiticals, if that's not the title to this episode. Don't know what's gonna be. So yeah, that's the history of Meijer, and basically it's a grocery store, but they, like a lot of grocery stores, like Costco and stuff like that, has their own name brand. Kirkland, Meijer has their own stuff. So Meijer brand, everything, like everything in a grocery store, there's a Meijer brand to it, and
Yep.
that includes pop
Meijer brand
or soda.
Doritos, they're good until you get used to them. That's when you start buying the normal Doritos again, and when you get bored of those, go back to the Meijer.
Yeah, they're a little different tasting. Some of their stuff tastes exactly like the name brand, but
Yeah.
some of it is way worse. Some of it's better in a different way.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. I also want to talk about bubblegum. So when thinking about this episode and doing bubblegum flavored soda, I had the thought, what on earth is bubblegum flavor? Like, you and I know what it is just in our minds, right? Because we just have had that instilled. Like prophecy, probably not prophecy, by sheer coincidence or by great minds think alike, in our Discord, our buddy Utopianarian, our patron of saints,
Topi.
Topi,
Topi.
commented on the fact that we were doing this bubblegum soda and said, what's bubblegum? What's bubblegum flavor? He's from Norway, you might remember. They do not have that at all. They
They
not
don't have bubblegum?
They have gum, but it's all different flavors. It's,
Oh.
fruit flavors. It's flavors
So like-
of other things.
So like the fruit,
so
fruity,
the generic,
juicy fruit and stuff like that.
yeah. So like the double bubbles and the bubbliciouses and all that are just
Hubba
bubble
bubba.
gum flavor.
Hubba
I
bubba.
don't think they have that. So it's like this cultural thing, and maybe it's just America, maybe it's elsewhere in the world, but it's this thing. And I think I've touched on that in the past with different flavor things, in that like watermelon flavor versus a watermelon, totally different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you have watermelon flavored gum, it's going to taste totally different from if you bite into a watermelon. And we know both of those. Grape flavor soda tastes totally different from grapes.
Yep.
Like they're very different.
Grapes are delicious. I love grapes.
Yeah.
And watermelon.
And I love grape soda, but they're very different, and I know what a grape soda tastes like, but I don't expect grapes to taste like that.
I expected this to be pink, but now that mine's exploded a little, it's blue.
So I Googled, and bubblegum flavor is basically just a combination of lots of different artificial flavors. Often strawberry, banana, and cherry, which I think I equate most with like a strawberry or a cherry flavor to a bubblegum flavor, don't you? When you think of bubblegum flavor, don't you think maybe strawberry-ish? I don't know. But sometimes it says even orange, lemon, or cinnamon, which,
Cinnamon.
I mean, maybe a little bit. I don't know. But to me, a bubblegum flavor is strawberry or cherry.
Definitely smells like bubblegum.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's bubblegum.
I think I just smelled your hand. Yeah, this smells like bubblegum. So yeah, that's bubblegum. That's just one of those things that, like, it's just a bunch of chemicals. Just a bunch of chemicals making up a flavor that doesn't exist in nature at all. So I guess if you don't have that, if you don't have a product that was successful in your country with that flavor, you have no touchstone for what that is. Did you just have an epiphany?
Maybe.
A sudden, startling realization.
I was thinking, what if you crossbreeded, like strawberries, bananas, and cherries and stuff like that, and made a bubblegum plant?
Yeah, that'd be weird. I mean, you could, right? Like you
could.
like they have grapes, or they have apples that taste like grapes, and they have like other weird things, like even something as simple as seedless watermelons is the result of like selective pollination and like crossing the genetic makeup of different plants.
Yeah, some crossbreeding, like in animal crossbreeding, some have taken over so much that there are almost no fully bred cows. Almost all of them have some buffalo in them because of crossbreeding. Yeah, even if it's not visible, it's most likely that any cows you've seen in your life probably have buffalo in them.
You know why possums look exactly like the possums that lived like hundreds and thousands of years ago, back with like the dinosaur times?
Why?
Because they can't crossbreed. They have different goods.
Could have just said genitals.
That seemed inappropriate too.
Scientific
That's
term.
the scientific term, yes. So they can't like crossbreed with a raccoon or anything like that. That's similar. They just stuck with each other, so they don't change. And so that's kind of amazing to think about how they live with humans, and they've adapted to like rifling through trash and stuff.
Yet they haven't changed their looks at all.
Which might be a bother to us, but it's amazing to think about how well they adapted to living in a totally different
environment.
Time, in a totally different environment. Like they weren't rifling through the dinosaurs' trash cans, like it's a totally different environment.
What if dinosaurs were actually like civilized people? But we just don't know because...
didn't you watch that documentary, Dinosaurs? With Not the Mama? That's a really old show that was off the air well before you. There were, like, big puppet dinosaurs that walked around like people. There was the baby hated the dad. And anytime the dad tried to be like, "Oh, you little boy," he'd be like, "Not the mama," and like hit him with a pan or something. Because he didn't like the dad. Because he just called the dad not the mama. Anyway, that aside, let's take a swig.
How did we get to dinosaurs based on bubblegum?
Crossbreeding plants to crossbreeding animals to possums not being able to crossbreed to dinosaurs
to dinosaurs being civilized
to Dinosaurs, the TV show TM. It was a fascinating journey. Meijer Bubblegum soda is in these adorable little cans. Thereby assuring 7.5 ounces. Thereby assuring that they kind of seem like they're meant for little kids. But they're blue. It's blue. Cheers. Cheers to anyone drinking along at home. I didn't expect it to be blue.
That is not bubblegum.
It tastes like bubblegum to me. It's a lot more...
The second sip was a bit better, but so much more... It's like a really, really chemically tasty bubblegum.
I mean, that's what we just went over. Bubblegum flavoring is just a bunch of chemicals.
Yeah, it is chemicals, but it doesn't taste like chemicals. This one does. Now I kind of want to grow a bubblegum plant.
How are you going to genetically alter your seeds? I think that's a little bit beyond the little kid chemistry kits that you can buy in the stores. Don't get us on any watch lists by going to Amazon and ordering a bunch of chemicals. FBI is going to be breaking down our door.
They come in, we have a bubblegum
I get a little
plant.
bit of orange on first, and then a lot of cherry on the aftertaste.
Mm-mm.
No?
I don't get anything. I just get chemicals. I don't like it at all. At all.
I don't know. It's not an overwhelmingly strong bubblegum flavor, but I still think it tastes like bubblegum, like your bubblicious and double bubbles and
Hubba bubba.
Hubba Bubbas and Major League Gum or whatever, that one that's like all shredded. And Bazooka Joe.
What the heck? What is Bazooka Joe?
Classic bubblegum. So
Yeah.
that was Meijer Bubblegum Soda. Bubba Gump. That was Meijer Bubba Gump Soda. Was that in Forrest Gump? Was that a joke about bubblegum when they named their company Bubba Gump? Did I totally miss that until right now? I think I might have just gotten a joke in a 20-year-old movie. Anyway, if you want to chat with us on our Discord, like previously mentioned, links down in the doobly-dooble, the doobly-doo. Also, a link to our merch. We have lots of cool merch with a design that's just for us with a cool, cute little lemur on it, referencing back to our Cheerwine episode.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is also a link to our Patreon, so you can be awesome like Utopianarian and
Join Topi.
But don't leave Topi to be the only one. He's lonely. You know, he's lonely at being our only patron, and he wants company. And that is you. That's
Join
you.
Topi in the revolution.
That's you. Also, an email if you want to get in touch with us and ask us to sponsor your soda related thing. I don't know, whatever. And
Or send us something.
yeah, if I trust you enough to give you our address until I can afford the PO box some more, and the description of what we're drinking next week, so that you can drink along if you can find it, so you can feel like you're part of this episode. And yeah, give us a like, hit subscribe, and come tune in next week.
See you in the next video.
Goodbye.